everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We're gonna do a daily today. Oh no, I've hit the spacebar before I realized it was an Azazel daily. Well, okay, it's an Azazel daily, but it goes all the way. So I'm not as disappointed. Well, I mean, I'm putting on airs, to be honest. I like playing as Azazel from time to time. Nobody's favorite character. Probably. Maybe that's not true. I don't know. A lot of people... I remember when Rebirth came out and people unlocked Azazel. People were like, why would I ever play as any other character? They said character wrong as well, which was an endearing part of the whole ordeal. Why would I ever play as any other character except for Azazel? Like, he's so strong. Don't you worry about Isaac power creep? And it turns out the answer is, he's so strong, nobody wants to play as him. Because it just removes a little bit of the certain je ne sais quoi that makes Isaac such an interesting experience. Please. That was a secret room, and you have failed me here. Really? You know, okay. I'm down to the next floor. I'm gonna try for a second secret room real quick. Okay, I'm down to the next floor. I feel betrayed by the outline of this floor, and I would like to move along if you do not mind. But yeah, I don't dislike Azazel. I would love to... it would be so easy to just be the people's champion, you know? And say, dang old, just remove him from the good, make his range -12 in order to make it fair. But I don't know. I think that actually, I've created a situation in which people dislike Azazel because I played him so much on the NLSS as like the second run of an hour. So really, I've kind of like dug my own grave here. And now I will wise from it, and we'll move along. So far, this run is very, very, very normal, would be the way that I would describe it. Normal for an Azazel run, at least. We've gotten Bomb Bag, which is... Well, we've gotten Hit, which is embarrassing. But we've gotten Bomb Bag, which is okay. We've gotten I'm Excited, which is absolutely horrendous as Azazel, because we need to get up close and personal to enemies to kill them. And if they start moving at double speed... Or if they start moving faster at all, that puts us in a pretty large risk, I think. Very happy to see that there is a key there, even if I would have wanted Spirit Hearts as well. Given the opportunity, oh my god, we almost got hit. Probably should have checked the shop first, especially considering many things. Especially considering we could have bombed our way into the item room. Especially considering the item room contained Angry Fly. Especially considering we have enough money to buy things from the shop, but hopefully we'll just get another key. If we don't, though, that's, you know what? Don't do the time if you can't do the crime. That's not how that expression goes. Oh, we're getting a key anyway. We're getting many keys anyway. And I'm not too disappointed with Telepathy for Dummies. Although I think I prefer... I mean, Buddy in a Box is okay, but I actually think I prefer Compost. We don't need homing tiers because, you know, our shot is so... The range is so low. If we can't hit an enemy, like, what are we doing? That was probably not the right way to do that. Compost, I never use properly, but even a poorly used Compost is better than none. I have an honest question, okay? I think I might have asked this in an Isaac episode before, but, you know, we live in a city that prides itself on being very green, sometimes to an insufferable degree. Let's go Angel Deals. I'm just not comfortable with what we got right now. Even if it makes me a baby, I don't want to lose a daily, like, immediately. I'm okay with this. Help. We have, we compost, and I think that it's kind of our duty to do so. You know, it's like everybody now recycles. For the most part, at least, they recycle. I don't know, I won't speak for Austin and Rob because they're still eating off paper plates, but I feel like people in my generation are like, of course you recycle. Do you hate the earth? But when you ask some of them about composting, they go, ew. I'm not gonna do that. Are you kidding? I think this is still better than Unicorn Horn, but it's kind of close, I'll admit. You know, like, that's gross, and I should go. Stop being bad, brain. So we do it. But I sort of don't get it. And this might... I really subscribe to the belief that there's no such thing as stupid questions. It's brave to put yourself out there and ask a question that seems like common sense. And this is especially harrowing for me because, you know, I hold a bachelor's degree, which, as we've all established, is the highest possible level of education in any field, in the field of biology. So this question sounds doubly stupid, but I'm okay with it. I'm putting myself out there. If compost is exclusively for biodegradable stuff like food waste, etc., why don't you just put the food waste in the trash where it will biodegrade anyway because it's biodegradable? And I'm gonna like hedge my bets here because I understand that, you know, it's not just like it's a separate garbage can. I'm aware of the fact that, you know, if you look at a compost heap, there's, it's kind of like its own living, breathing ecosystem, right? Like there's, oh, dude, we definitely need 9 volt. There's bacteria in there that are breaking it down and stuff like that, so maybe it's more efficient at breaking down food waste because you've got like these hyper-evolved bacteria that are, you know, so, I mean, they're just fed. They're like the princes of bacteria, right? Just in there getting fat off of old eggshells and, you know, chicken bones all day. Maybe that's part of it. But apart from that, I'm like, I sort of don't get it. I do it, but I sort of don't get it. That's all I'm saying about it. I'm not saying don't compost. I'm just asking for an explanation. I'm happy to do my part. I'll throw my coffee grinds, which are actually called coffee grounds, because the English language is strange. I'll throw my coffee grounds into the green bin instead of the garbage can. It doesn't bother me in the least. But I have questions. Sometimes. And this is the kind of commentary you can get into on an Azazel run, which is pretty amazing. Stop. Stop. Let it all drop. These are the things you can... Something stop. Come on. I'm talking to you. Can we get a pill that gives us 2 pennies? Somehow? I'm running it through. I'm like, I don't think so. Balls of Steel's great. Are you a wizard? Doesn't matter. Hematemesis is actually something we should hold and maybe use on a second secret room, which is probably gonna be like right down here. No. Alright. Well, we might save it for a future floor then. We're cruising right now. I'm just begging you. 2 pennies. Okay, I should have walked into the fires. How valuable is this? We've probably... Oh, we haven't. Okay, so get hit 2 times. I hate to do it because, you know, the damage penalty is going to make that kind of bad, but at least we didn't hurt ourselves unduly to make it happen. And now once per room we get access to compost, which I think is going to start to have incredible gains. We don't need a fool card. There's value in a fool card, but there's more value in hematemesis, I think. And we're so far ahead of schedule. We're like at least 2 minutes ahead of schedule. 7 minutes into the run, which is way better than you'd expect. Okay. Where compost really starts to shine, it's almost like a rich get richer sort of thing. It becomes incredible when your run is so good that you're not using that many flies. So when you're able to just, you know, roll compost 20 or 30 times, that's probably a slight exaggeration, but when you're able to use compost a lot, and not actually lose many flies and spiders because you're killing enemies so quickly, which we could get to pretty easily, by the way, but then you can start to create an army that can just destroy a boss in you know, 4 seconds or something like that, so... Or a room that's full of consumables, which can give you a good kickstart towards maybe eventually reaching that goal. So we can actually, I mean, use it with hematemesis. I guess I've forgotten how to pronounce that word. Hematemesis. Maybe make that happen, but... Please. I don't know why, like, in my brain, I'm like, this run is so slow. It's not really the case. Anyway, that's my bit about composting. It's not really a good bit. I also, like, I live in an apartment building, and if you have never lived in an apartment building, you know, you ever hear the expression, heck is other people, only they didn't say heck? I'm the one who ends up tackling the garbage in our household. We don't really need any of these. We'll take this. Even though Guillotine is kind of terrible on Azazel, Algiz is amazing, so we'd really like to use Hematemesis on this floor. So we can take Algiz in the future. Yo, let's actually go with these luck upgrades. So I go down into our garbage room, and then I open the organics container. I'm aware we live in a hipster city, okay? I open the organics container with one hand while holding my soy caramel macchiato with the other hand, and eating some avocado toast on my iPhone 10. I always see like plastic shopping bags in there, and I'm always like, what are you doing? Like, your heart's kind of in the right place, I think, but what are you doing? You can't compost plastic bags. It's not like it's the #1. I needed those. Well, I wanted those bombs. It's not like it's the #1 stress in my life, but like, I just don't understand that you're gonna go through the effort to throw your food waste into a separate container and then compromise it completely by throwing it out in a plastic bag. Unless you got, like, you know, those amoebas that eat plastic, and also if you get one of them in your nasal cavity, it'll eat your freaking brain. I don't think we're quite at that level yet. I don't know if we're using the brain-eating parasite. So there was Nightlight back in the shop here. And I think I actually quite enjoy the concept of Nightlight. And I think we're going to take Algiz for the future. But I think we really are happy with Nightlight, which is losing meaning the more I say it. Because now when we get close to enemies and we face them, we're going to be slowing their shots down, which is just going to contribute to an overall better ecosystem for us. Do you think this is a second secret room? It is. So I could go back and... the thing is, popping Hematemesis here doesn't really make sense. Sure, we love Sack of Sacks. So I think we go, huh? And then we go, huh? And all of a sudden... Whoa, did you see the spider explosion there? That was beautiful, man. Look at that. Okay, now we got an economy. And we might as well take our HP. We're going to fight the angel statue. Oh, dude, you got to go Holy Mantle, obviously. We're going to lose, like, a lot of our spiders here, but it's very worth it. I don't believe this guy gives you a key piece. But you kind of got to try, right? Like, while we're here. Oh, he totally did, so... I would have been an idiot if I didn't go through with that. And now I'm like, are we at the point where compost has hit that kind of critical mass you look for, where you're never, or at least very rarely, gonna use half of your spiders per room? Because half of our spiders is like 50 spiders or something now. Which means that every time you get to double, you know, you're just getting kind of further and further ahead. I think, at least. I'm kind of like, I'm not even worrying about consumables. I'm just worried about doubling our spiders. Admittedly, if there's consumables on the ground, it will not double the spiders, which is something that we gotta watch out for. We also, and you're gonna think that I'm being ridiculous, but we have to be wary of our time, because now we have a very finicky run that I think is gonna be easy to get lost in, like, consumable minutia. So we managed to make compost pop here. I think I've hit, like, the best practices for this item right now. We should be able to carry, like, a spider surplus, like a spider profit, room to room. As long as we predominantly... Joker? Ace of Spades. As long as we predominantly use it on rooms that have no consumables on them. Like... Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, this is very much a rich get richer sort of situation here. It might sound braggadocious, but I'm kind of worried about crashing the game. You never know. So, like, it's not like I invented this, but, you know, in Isaac, doesn't always handle a lot of things on the screen that well. Red hearts are like our greatest foe. And I ain't talking about a Vietnamese noodle soup. Because when there's a red heart, there's no way that we can pick it up. So we gotta be careful about ensuring that we use these on the right rooms. Okay, you know what? You know what? I think you got me. I think you finally freaking got me. We're gonna come in here. We're gonna double up. We're gonna. Oh, the consumables never end. This happens actually on a lot of runs. It's like almost always related to sacks, and I'm not talking about a boutique shop on 5th Avenue in Manhattan. There's a lot of things I'm not talking about. Why don't you tell us what you are talking about, NL? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Is this thing on? I don't know. So I'm like, okay. See, that works. Alright, beautiful. Keep cracking into this. I like Ghost Pepper. I don't think it's great, and I also don't know if it's even going to work as Azazel. I don't really need Spider Mod. You know, we're fighting everything on this run. Almost without a doubt. You know, we're gonna fight Hush, we're gonna do Boss Rush. That's why I like storing this Algiz rune for now, is I think it's like crazy important for Boss Rush. I don't really know how we're gonna do on this run though. I have to imagine. Oh, dude, Ghost Pepper totally works. I have to imagine that I'm actually probably fairly decently ahead of the curve, if not in points, at least in terms of like the strength of the run itself. And all I mean by that is, I don't know if anybody else, at least en masse, is going to take Compost. You know, there were a couple options that were a little faster, and as a result, a little safer as well. But yeah, I will take this now. Contract from Below is going to double our consumables. We'd love range and a rate of fire increase, and our range is still really bad, but we're down to the next floor, essentially in time, but just in time to get the boss rush. So I think we don't want to dilly-daddle. Let me leave it at that. I think we have 2 HP, so I'm going to play 3 times. That'll take us to half a heart, I think. And then we can now enter here. We might have lost half a demon heart in the process, but dude, let's go. Although, now I'm thinking about it. Now, oh, well, we've made our choice. It is... That was lame, and I apologize, but I'm apologizing with the caveat that if you accept my apology, you also have to accept that it was just a mistake. You know? It definitely... I just don't think we need to mess about with that. It definitely would have been cooler to roll Cracked Crown, which or Bloody Crown, which shows up way less frequently. But yeah, my Compost ability got the better of me there. No, look, it's actually just horrible. It's not zany. It's just bad. Give me some cash. Oh, I'll take it. No, you know, without the upside, it's just a tiers upgrade. It's not a bad tiers upgrade, but it's just a tiers upgrade. So we instead went for the wafer, which is just exceptional. And then I don't think jumper cables is really going to give us anything we don't already have. But even the thing is, we have so many spiders that the rare extra doubling mid-room with no consumables on the ground in all likelihood could be worth quite a lot, I guess. We really want to keep this Algiz rune. Wow. What an incredible death card. We want to keep this Algiz rune because I think, you know, there's going to be a couple of rooms in this game that are going to murder all of our spiders. And one of those rooms is Boss Rush. I don't think there's any getting around it. Another one of those rooms is Hush, for sure. So it's like consumables turn into flies, and if there's no consumables, you double your spiders. And you create spiders, maybe, on the first one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We've hit item room and shop. I think, you know, like, we don't have to go... We don't have to leave right now. But I think I'm gonna. Just because, again, I worry about... You guys are familiar with the concept of option paralysis? Option paralysis is the idea that if you have too much choice in life, or, you know, it doesn't even have to be that overarching. You know, if you just have too many choices in a situation, I think I take none of those. Oftentimes you end up being paralyzed by that choice instead of empowered, which is what you would expect. Now, we do need Zodiac for 1,001%, but it's not on our... this isn't our canonical save file, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, it is our canonical save file, but you don't get achievements on dailies, so we have nothing to worry about there. I'm trying like a new theory here, which is if we can hit the space bar before the consumables appear, maybe we can have our cake and eat it too. I don't know though. For now, I'm like, sure, consumables are great, but you know what's greater? Producing more and more spiders and flies on the regular. Like, I don't know why some of these things are getting rerolled and some of them aren't. Batteries are always so weird with compost, because you're like, you know, I want the battery, but if I compost, then I compost the battery. And it's just, it's a confusing situation is the thing. Everything's going really well. That must have been the item we picked up. And we still actually, like, got way more spiders than I would have expected. And I'm doing my best to keep that kind of running here. Because again, like, I'm not even looking at the boss rush anymore, which it appears we won't even take damage on. What I'm thinking about, like, most closely is the Hush fight. And the idea that, you know, Hush as Azazel, don't say a word, Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. What I'm worried about is that, because you gotta get real up close and personal. You gotta hit him in the face. I would much prefer if we just had a spider army that did all of our dirty work for us. Okay, well, it seems like we got a really good spider army still going here, so we'll just head down to the next floor. I'm gonna stretch. I'm gonna stretch, not because the run's over, but because it's only just begun. So I'll just level with you, as I often do. Points-wise, we're way ahead of where we normally are on a daily at this point. Run quality-wise, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, we have a disgusting amount of leverage relative to the average run at this point. So, rest assured, your boy, that's me, is extremely pleased. And I think we're on routes. I've taken some dumb damage, and again, the seam on this one, not tough. Not tough to figure out, you know, what you're supposed to do to get everything working for you here. But I think we could be looking at, like, a top 50. And a top 50 is really, like, as confident as I ever get about calling a daily positive. You get the idea. Let me put it this way. The run is so good that having Wafer and Holy Mantle is actually irrelevant. That doesn't happen very often, as you might expect. We do have to constantly, like, it's one of those, I talk about some items, they're like set it and forget it. This is the opposite. This item is like, constantly pay attention to what it's doing. Because if we ever lose the value of compost, it could take a while to get it back, you know? But as long as we keep doubling, the thing is, we kind of pay the price in terms of our attention right now. Like, we have to pay very close attention to what's happening. But it pays dividends later. Once we get to that Hush fight, you know, it's all over. For him, hopefully. Not for me. I guess with Holy Mantle, we could go back into that curse room. I'm kind of like... I love backseating. It's so helpful. And I mean that, it sounds sarcastic, but I do like backseating. Most of the time. If it's meant to be constructive instead of tearing people down, absolutely, sign me up. Apart from that, I'm just gonna say, like, if you have feedback for this run, I don't even have my fingers in my ears. It's not like I'm like, la la la, I can't hear you. I literally just can't hear you because there are spiders crawling all over my whole body. So, you know, I'm sorry if you're going, well, there's an extra, you know, 500 points for you back there if you do this. Well, you know what? It's just gonna have to stay back there because I have so many spiders, I can't stop moving. I got 800 legs pushing me forward. You know, let's just do this. It saves us a little time. And we end up generating, like, an absurd amount of power here. Hopefully we get a deal with the angel. Or, sorry, deal with the devil, because we've already taken a deal with the devil. I'm just gonna level with you. I feel like... And you're not gonna love that I'm about to say this. But I'm just being honest. We could use a little bit more damage. I'm not trying to say that we need it. But like our range is... The spiders are doing such great work for us. That I'm... Oh, okay. That I'm not suggesting that overall our run is weak. But I'm just saying if you look at Azazel, relative to his spiders, you know, his spiders are doing the work. I wouldn't mind... just Azazel getting a little bit stronger. I don't think that's unreasonable. To just want Azazel to be a little bit more powerful. I'll tell you one thing though. I'm very glad I chose to do today's daily. A daily that is proven to be quite a lot of fun. And, you know, at the end of it, we've really discovered that the true daily was inside of us all along. Sorry, I just wanted to make it like an after-school special sort of thing. Not sure if it worked appropriately. Like, this is the thing, I don't even know. Using compost efficiently is costing us valuable time. But it's also, oh my god, it's just so satisfying watching, like, your spiders swarm over the enemy and just slowly swallow them whole. Sorry, I was getting a little hot and bothered. I mean, like, I'm literally getting hot because it's 31 degrees Celsius in my office right now. That's not abnormal, unfortunately. Just the way this place is structured. All the heat ends up getting pumped into my room, and I'm a warm boy to begin with. I think we like them both at this point. Yeah, okay, this is correct. So we're not really doing our due diligence when it comes to exploration, but it's because there's mental overhead with compost that is annoying as heck. I actually don't think we want any of those, including the body. I will definitely take a speed upgrade from Ares. I will definitely take an upgrade there. I don't know. We'll take BFF, but I don't think it's particularly strong. And then Buddy in a Box just sort of exists. We can always compost this stuff, but I'm just gonna pick it up. Well, I think we're probably gonna get Death's List to work for us here. Oh no, we didn't, because we killed some flies. That's what I get for being smarmy about it. Do me a favor and don't be annoying to kill. I can already tell you are going to be annoying to kill. We don't have quite enough flies. And we're not dealing, like, enough damage fast enough. There goes Holy Mantle. So we're gonna take some hits here. This just happens as Azazel. You know, it's nice that we have Guillotine, actually. And Gimpy, for that matter, but we should probably stop walking into bullets, but I just want to, like, in my own defense, offer up the counter-argument, and the counter-argument here is a very simple, what else am I supposed to do? My range is such that I sort of have to walk into bullets. And then between everything on the screen and a variable frame rate caused by the 100,000 Skype messages I've received over the course of this episode for God knows what reason, we got a little trouble dodging. That's okay. We're about halfway through the fight here. Our fly and spider army is completely dead. There's a couple holdouts, but you know, I would still... It's not like one spider's gonna come in and hit him for lethal, so... Dude, Gimpy, you have been so nice for us. And honestly, like, once this is done, we're sitting pretty. This is gonna be by far the most annoying fight. And it's always the most annoying fight. I mean, I was gonna say I've gone on record, but let's not be that serious about Isaac. This is a video game at the end of the day. But I've spoken ad nauseum basically about how I feel about the Hush fight. You know, spoilers. I don't think it's really very good. I don't think it's a strong part of the Isaac experience. And that's okay. You know, you ever watch Vanilla Sky, starring Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz, Penelope Cruz, Terry Crews, J. Crew, the crew of the USS Enterprise? Jason Lee. There's a great quote, even if it is a little saccharine. He says, "In life, the sweet ain't as sweet without the sour." Jason Lee apparently not a big fan of Warhead's candy. But he's right, you know? Sort of. Or at least I'm going to use that as a justification for why I choose to fight the Hush, despite it, you know... I mean, at the end of my life, I will be on my deathbed, and, I mean, you guys, if you're a little younger than me, might end up living forever. Keep up that hope, Ray Kurzweil. I'm probably a goner, though. You're just born too early to explore the galaxy, too late to explore the world, born just in time to browse dank memes, right? And when I'm on my deathbed, they're gonna be like, "You have any regrets?" And I'll be like, "Not finishing a Hollow Knight." And then after that, I'm gonna say, I wasted about a year of my in-game, or a year of my actual life fighting Hush. But it was all worth it for the daily rankings, my dude. It was all worth it for the daily rankings. I am going to be a very bad boy. And I'm going to use the Emperor card here. I don't have good justification for doing this beyond the fact that I want to. It will speed us up a little bit, which is normally bad from a point standpoint. But if we are going to take damage, it could, in theory, be good. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I want to get through Shoal, where rewards are relatively light and the enemies are relatively difficult, as frictionlessly as possible. And then we'll go through however long we need to go through on the blue, not the blue room, the dark room, in order to get to the Lamb. And the reason we're going to do that in that order, unless we get another Emperor card, is because, you know, we have so much luck that we're going to get some items on the way here, in all likelihood. Remember, unfortunately, we might be getting to Bookworm. Total Biscuit, baby. We, can't fight Mega Satan, even though we got all the key pieces. I know it sounds backwards. That's because this is just how dailies is. They don't think it be like it is sometimes, but it do. Starting to rebuild our spider army here, which is really like... That's the best reason for us to have done the entirety of the last floor, which we didn't. But would have been to, to rebuild that spider army, which at the present moment is just not very good. That's okay. I mean, now it's just Azazel's base damage, or not base damage, but the damage that we've gleaned for him over the course of the run, and that's okay too. Leaves a little bit to be desired after, you know, several floors in which we just stomped on enemies, but that's life. I'm really pleased with this run. We got a cool setup. We don't always get compost, and moreover, like, even when we get compost, probably like 50% of the time or more that I get it, I sort of ruin it. So I'm pleased. We were able to make something happen here. A cool synergy, if you will. But for now, we're just coming to the tail end of this daily. And it's a nice one. If you get a time machine, I'd recommend it. Go back to December 1st, 2017. That's a joke. Sometimes I like to throw a little test in here to see if you're thinking critically. Does NL actually have a 3 or 4 month backlog? No. No, he doesn't. How do eyeball tears work in this situation? The answer is they just don't. That's okay. What's our final score gonna be? I don't know. I think we'll be in like the mid 40s. Like Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's probably in the mid 40s. I mean, she's in her early 50s. I don't know. Not that it really matters too much in the whole scheme of things how old Catherine Zeta-Jones is. Thanks for the fire rate increase. An item I like so much that I am actually going to pick it up, even though it's only going to be useful for us on one boss fight. It's so weird, like, the run is good, and it's so much better than good. It's exquisite. But it's so much worse when we don't have the ability to create flies and spiders on the regular. Or when we don't have, like, a fly and spider debt that we carry over room to room. Now I'm just dealing, like, this lame brimstone damage, and I'm like, what am I wasting my time for? I don't have, like, free internet. My bandwidth's limited. Let's go. Alright, great run. We're gonna cheap out a little early here. 45,000, 52nd, what did I tell you? For now, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. It was a good one. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.